Hello, welcome to our Horse Care 101 series. Today, we'll talk about water. We'll chat about why our horses need it, how to keep the water clean and fresh, emergency preparedness, checking for dehydration, and more. Water is the most important nutrient in your horse's diet. Why is that? It lubricates your horse's joints, helps to cushion the central nervous system, is involved in both your horse's sight and hearing. It helps to maintain the horse's skin tone, is a solvent for toxins that are eliminated through the sweat and urine, aids in thermoregulation, which is your horse's ability to maintain a comfortable body temperature, helps to carry vital nutrients throughout the body, and inadequate water intake is believed to be a cause of colic. Only 6% dehydration can lead to colic, and 12% can lead to death. Okay, so obviously water is pretty darn important. So how much do our horses need? The average horse drinks between 8 and 12 gallons of water per day. That amount will depend on the type of quality of food that they have, the ambient temperature and humidity where they live, their physiological state, and the physical activity of the horse. Horses will drink as much as they need as long as their fresh water is available, and their water intake will increase with an increased amount of protein and salt. So every horse care book I've ever read always says all horses need fresh, clean water. But what does that really mean? I have some people telling me that the algae in their trough is fantastic because it aerates the water. And then you have the other side where people are saying, blue-green algae kills your horse. So what are we supposed to do? I think the best advice I've ever heard is if you wouldn't want to drink it, don't expect your horse to. So how can we keep their water clean and fresh? Let's check out these helpful hints. Let's talk about cleaning out our water trough. We want to clean it at least once a week. Apple cider vinegar is fantastic if you have a non-metallic trough, especially because some research has shown that horses after using bleach will drink less. If you don't want to use apple cider vinegar, just a scrub brush and some good old elbow grease. Two great ideas from our friends over at saddleandsage.com. Number one, just take a regular pool skimmer. It helps you get out debris, bugs, hay, anything like that. It keeps your trough clean. And two, they have this really cool nifty advice that you just go ahead and hook it onto any hose and it filters your water. And apple cider vinegar is way more than a natural cleanser. Have you ever had your horse refuse water at a new location? Apple cider vinegar is a great way to mask the changing smells of water when you travel. If you add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar to your water at home for about a week or so, then continue to do that while you're traveling, often your horse will be much more open to the water. And it's also great for their health. Just 2 tablespoons in your water trough 3 or 4 times a week will gently dose your horse with the multiple benefits of cider vinegar. Some of these include removing blood impurities and reducing calcification in the joints and arteries. Here is something you might not have thought of. Keep your water trough full. Some equines, especially donkeys, will refuse to drink if they have to lower their heads so far into the trough that they can't see out. Okay, so where should you put your water trough? Your water needs to be accessible to everybody. Putting your water next to a gate or a corner can easily lead to injuries or some horses not drinking enough water. Consider having more than one water trough if your herd dynamics warrant that. Be cognizant of what tree leaves and debris might drop into the tank. And if possible, water should be kept out of the sun to inhibit algae growth. Here's a fun fact. Black water troughs actually usually have more algae. Okay, so we learned that having enough water is super important for your horse. But how can I tell if my horse is dehydrated? There's a fast and easy way to check if your horse is dehydrated. Pinch the skin near the point of the shoulder. If the skin snaps back quickly, your horse is sufficiently hydrated. If it takes the skin 2 to 4 seconds to snap back, your horse is moderately dehydrated. If it takes longer than 4 seconds for the skin to snap back, your horse is severely dehydrated. Practice this often, as it is important to know the normal skin pinch results on your horse, as it can vary quite a bit by age and breed. So what about the winter? Is there anything we should think about? Yes. In the winter, very cold water can be aversive to your horse, and they may actually drink less to the point of dehydration. Another interesting fact, just eating snow will not supply enough water for your horse. And it's important to check water troughs daily to ensure that there's not a shock being produced by the water heater or your electric fence. If horses receive even one shock, they may reduce their water intake to a very dangerous level. Since water is so important to your horse's health, you will want to plan ahead for emergencies. It is recommended you have 72 hours worth of water for each horse. For our 3 horses, we use a combination of 3 water troughs and 60 gallons of stored water. When you're making your calculations, remember this includes enough drinking water, water to prepare any food you have, and water for medical treatments. We decide upon the 5-gallon blue water tanks as we can use them if we need to evacuate for fires or floods. They're very easy to maneuver. We empty and refill them with fresh water every 6 months, and they're handy because we can have an extra 60 gallons in very little space. If you have many horses, you can purchase a much larger storage tanks to fill your needs. The example here holds 300 gallons. They have even larger ones that you can bury into the ground. That's super great because it will keep it from freezing in the winter and boiling in the summer. Here are just some miscellaneous and fun facts. Some species of blue-green algae found in ponds does actually lead to horse poisoning. Usually, the whole herd will move to water together. In pastured horses, this usually occurs in the afternoon. Horses that prefer to drink muddy water versus clean may have a mineral deficiency. Dunking of hay in water should not be discouraged, as the horse may be aiding his or her own digestion. And some horses have trouble using flow valves and then do not receive enough water. This is easily remedied by having an additional full water bucket in the stall. So now you know all about the importance of fresh, clean water. Cheers!